welcome to another edition of Tech Tuesday presented by Delta Media Group, where we really have to ask ourselves, how many times can Umbrella Corporation make the same kinds of mistakes before they finally lose enough shareholders that they really just need to hang it up? And they've got to be there by now, right? They've made an awful lot of mistakes. And the same mistakes. Anyway, so today we're going to take a look at, I won't call it new functionality exactly, but it is the curbside marketing functionality that we have just recently released. Now this is actually a rebrand, and well, it's essentially a rebrand of some functionality we already had, which was the text message shortcode functionality. But in addition to rebranding it, we've added a little bit of functionality to it as well. Now I'll also caveat this in saying that it is only available to customers that have signed up for Properties in Motion, or companies that are on our digital marketing package. So if you are an agent at a company that is subscribed to our digital marketing package or Properties in Motion, then you will likely find this feature available to you. So to get to it, I'm just going to click on my settings gear up here at the top, and actually it's on the lead settings page. So I can click on this gear here and I can go down and click on lead settings, or I could just type lead settings up here in my quick actions bar and that would take me straight to my lead settings page as well. So once you found your way here, you'll find a section labeled Curbside Marketing. And if we open that up, you'll see we have a variety of settings here. So just to give you a quick description of what this does, it allows a customer to send a text message to this short code here, 79842. And based on the message that they send, or really the keyword that they send to this number, that'll determine what kind of response they receive. So by default, the company has gone in and set up what these codes should be, and those will return links back to the company website. But you as an agent can go in here and you can define your own codes if this functionality is turned on. You can go in and define your own codes for these as well. So for example, if I were to type in Harley's listings, it probably wouldn't be a very good code, but it'll serve for what we need to do here. So what this allows you to do is put a sign on any of your listings right in front that says text Harley's listings to 79842 to get more information about this listing. And what they would do is text this message in and they'll receive a response or a responding text message that is a link to a search results page centered on their current location. So that's what the list type message does. So if they send this string to this number, they'll receive a response that's a link to your website, specifically to a search results or a map search results page on your website that shows just all the listings around them but centered on them. Now, what you can do as well is you can limit what shows up on those search results pages. So if you don't want it to show all listings around them, just company listings, you can check this box and then the results page they land on by default will just show company listings. And then you can also limit that status down. So you could say only active company listings if you want, or only active contingent and pending coming lists or company listings if you want, since these two different settings here combine with each other. Now we'll take this off of here, and you can see that the remaining option is company default. So what that's doing is limiting this to whatever statuses are defined at the company level as the default. So this really is an override specifically for your code if you do want to have your own code for this. So the next thing you can do is there is a detail option. So whatever string I put here, if I don't want just the company one, whatever string I put here, if they text that into 79842, they'll get a link to the listing detail page for the listing that is closest to their current location. So the neat thing about that is if they're, let's say for example, they're standing in the driveway of a listing and they want more information on it, or they're walking down the sidewalk and they walk past one of your listings and they see that this sign says text this code to this number and get more information about this listing. They'll text the code in and they'll get a response text message with a link to the listing detail page on your website for this particular listing so that they can see more information on it. And because these are all geolocation based, the reason they get a link to that particular detail page is because that's where they are. That is the closest listing to them. Now the last one is the open houses version. The open houses version works exactly the same as the list one, except it is limited to only listings with upcoming open houses. Now in this case, and actually in both of these cases, you can't define them or limit them to a specific listing status because this is just the listing that's closest to you. What status it is doesn't matter, it's just the listing that's currently on the market that is closest to you. Open houses, the status also doesn't really matter because it's all listings with upcoming open houses. Now, typically you're not going to have upcoming open houses scheduled on a listing that's set to pending, for example. So that kind of takes care of the status on its own. So that is how each of these work. Now, the next thing that you can do that we've added in here recently is you have the ability to be notified whenever someone clicks on one of your listings from one of these curbside marketing codes. And that applies to the company level codes as well. So let's say, for example, the company has set this up, and let's say the real estate company's name is Delta. Why not, right? So I could set up a code here that just says Delta listings, and then a customer is walking down the street and they text Delta listings to 79842. They get back a response that is a link to a listing detail page that's centered on them. So now they're looking at this listing detail page, and let's say they're not right next to a listing, but they can search around on that page, and ultimately they're going to tap on one of those listings, or ideally, the hope is that they'll ultimately find a listing they're interested in on that page, and they'll tap on it on their mobile device and go to that listing's detail page to read more information about it. If that listing they've tapped on happens to be one of your listings, and you have this set to notify you, then you'll receive a notification that someone received a curbside marketing link, or someone basically sent a code into the curbside marketing system and ultimately did click on one of your listings. So it just notifies you of that level of interest in one of your listings. And then you have options here, so you can either have it not notify you, you can set it to notify you via email, via text message, and then you can also set up a different text message number here if you wanted to send a text message to a number that is different than what you use for your lead notices. Or you can have it go to both, in which case you'll get an email and a text message when somebody does click on one of your listings. Now, the last thing you can do here is it does maintain a history also. So if I click this View History, you can see nobody has used my curbside marketing links. But if they had, it would actually lay out here what phone number the message came from and what was texted to them and when they were used. So you can actually see here how often these curbside marketing codes are actually being utilized by customers. So there you go. That is the curbside marketing system with the recent updates for notifications. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to send an email to support@deltagroup.com or give us a call and we can walk you through this or whatever else you need. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can even click the bell to get notifications for when we post new videos, and you'll always be notified when we have new videos, both Tech Tuesday videos and otherwise. So, thanks a lot, and I will see you again next week.